light. The sea is calm, and the beach is not so full because it was a cooler day today. But it's just gorgeous here. You can see. And this is Singing Beach off of Manchester by the Sea. I lost the signal earlier. And no, those of you who were watching before, I did not fall over. I just You wouldn't think on a day like today the signal would be fading in and out. You would think it would be really strong and steady. There's no wind. There's no storm. There's this beautiful evening. So I have spent many years on this ocean and many oceans around the world, including flying over them. I mean, I used to travel by ship to Asia as a first engineering officer, second engineering officer, third engineering officer, working at different capacities. There were times when I'd have to lock myself into my bed, my bunk, in my stateroom with a life jacket so I didn't fall out crossing the Pacific in February. And the jet lag was painful, especially going from Japan to California or Seattle. Every day you change the clock an hour. And by the time 7 days were up, your biological clock was all screwed up, plus the sea was bouncing you around. So I quit that. I mean, I was making really good money, but I quit because they changed the power in the ships. And I really like steamships, and they phased them out because they were not fuel efficient. And I quit. But before I quit, I eased into my jewelry business, which allowed me to continue traveling around the world, but I got over the jet lag faster. And now I don't have jet lag anymore because I discovered this amazing molecules, redox molecules, from a company called ASEA, ASEA. And it wasn't like I just got lucky once. I've tried a lot of things probably in the last 35 years that I've traveled to Asia, flying through Europe. I tried everything. Melatonin, I mean, it helped a little bit, but I'd have to take 20 or 30 milligrams of it. But here, I found this ASEA, and if you travel much, you know how inconvenient jet lag can be, especially if you go a long distance. Some people I see, they say, oh my God, I flew across the United States, my jet lag is horrible. And I kind of chuckle. I mean, it is horrible for some people, but, you know, I guess after you travel 12,000, sometimes it is 15,000, depends which way you go, miles, to get to the other side of the world, you really feel that. I mean, you're going to bed when you're supposed to be getting up. It's exactly 12 hours difference. So I did that 3 times in a row. I flew from Bangkok to Boston. One day after I arrived, I was introduced to the ASEA. I drank like 8 ounces, 4 in the morning, 4 at night. I slept like a baby. Unbelievable. I was shocked. I slept so well. I probably slept the best I had slept in a long time. And I woke up, of course, a little tired, groggy for 10 minutes. But after that, I had this clarity, this amazing clarity. And I have a lot of energy also, added energy. I do a lot of things to keep my energy high. And now that's added to it, and it adds more focus and more clarity to my day, to my hour. I mean, I accomplish a lot more in a shorter period of time. So then I went back after 2 weeks because it was too cold in March here in Massachusetts. I went out to ride my bike. My ears got cold and I'm like, nah, nothing's stopping me. I'm going to continue. And I have to confess, I turned around because it wasn't necessary to live in that kind of pain. I mean, when I don't like something, when the heat is too hot in the kitchen, I get out. I don't whine. I move and make a change. And don't sit there and complain and whine to my friends or my family how bad this is, how bad that is, how bad I feel. Oh my God, I'm feeling. Not gonna do that. Hey Rick, how you doing, man? Back in your hometown here, Rock Dundee. You know Rock Dundee and the end of Singing Beach. I thought I'd share this beautiful day, end of day. It was really cold this morning, like down to 60. Living in Florida, you know that's cold. So I was just talking about jet lag and how I was going from Bangkok to Boston, Boston to Bangkok, Bangkok to Boston, and it was so cold in March I had to fly back to Bangkok. I couldn't even ride my bike. So I hopped on the plane, flew back, and stayed there for a couple of months. And I came back in the middle of June, which is still a little rainy, but came July 1st. It was great. The whole point of it is, you know, kind of living your life in your own way like you do, Rick. I know you and your lovely wife and your family. You travel a lot. You go around. You built your life so that now you're free and you go where you want to. I see all your posts, man. It's great. But there's only a few people that really do that or can do it, because I call that like building life or living life by design. And I see a few people out doing it, but then there's a lot that wish they could. And the only thing, the difference between the wish and the will is the matter of the fact of action. So action is what makes it happen. And if you don't like something, I was saying before you get on, Rick, that if you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen. Real simple. Find another kitchen, turn off the stove, open the refrigerator, whatever it is, crawl in, it doesn't matter. But there's no need to live an uncomfortable life just because we were told we should. So I have this course that I'm building, and I expect to launch it in the early fall, maybe the beginning of September, and you can just check it out. Keep an eye on it at peterstonelive.com, www.peterstonelive.com, and I do the fairs and festivals. And I'm thinking people that are retired, like there's close to 12,000 people retiring a day. They have X amount of money they save. Some people are in the stocks and they do things online, but others really like to be outdoors like myself. I spend plenty of time on a computer, but it's not my preference. My preference is to be out here on the phone in the ocean. I mean, I really love it out here. I mean, if I want people, I'll go to Misery Island or I'll go into Black Beach. There's a lot of people around everywhere just because of the population has almost doubled since I was a kid around here. You hardly saw any boats. Nobody would ever be in Black Beach, maybe a boat or two on the weekend, but now there's almost 100. And outside of Manchester Harbor, there's a couple hundred. So if I want the crowds, it's like living in a city. You can always go to the city, but why put up with the crowds and the noise and all that when you don't have to, when you can be out here? Out here, where it's so calm and quiet. Someone else out there enjoying the day. They're flying. Looks like they're doing, well, they're probably doing 60 or 70. Hey, Katie, how you doing? I will, Rick. The same with you. So there's Peter Stone Live if you want to go to a website, if you're not doing what it is that you want to do. and you want a tool to get outside, go to some fairs and festivals. If you have a passion for flying or ballooning or a boat fair or a boat festival or a food festival, whatever it is, Peter Stone has a jewelry line that you can use to make money. And if you have retired or you think about retiring, or you're in the traffic right now in Chicago driving home and you're tired of it, well, that's a fast out. A fast and a fun out. There's so many fairs and festivals all around the country. And one of our guys who's been doing this for a while, one of our customers, yeah, Salem is really quite the place for the season. Yeah, if I can help you out at all, Katie, let me know. It's a little chilly, but it's a fun time for sure. So if anybody is really looking to get out of that grind, you've had it. I mean, it's probably 15 degrees hotter inland right now. It is a gorgeous day here. And if you're not liking it, you can change it. You can change anything you want. And I have a really simple tool that's fast, simple, and easy. It's a great start. It's small. You can have a little motorhome, drive around, see the country, especially if you think about retiring or you just retired, save that money, make money, and have a business which becomes a tax write-off to a certain degree. I'm not an accountant, but I've been doing business for a long time, and there are certain expenses you can write off when you are traveling, and that's your way of life to make money and business. And this person who lives in Thailand, married a Thai lady, he's from just right around here in Danvers, Mass. And he's going to these fairs. He says, Peter, I'm going to this place this weekend. I'm just going to stop, pull up. And he said he's done so good this year. He's never done this well in his life. So I guess business out in the fairs and festivals is the best it's ever been. That's why I'm mentioning it. Because he made a stop. He's got some clothing too. But he made a switch as big. And he always is telling me about how the big truck and van he's going to rent out, when with the jewelry you can do it out of your car or small van or small motorhome and not have to have a big trailer. So he goes to the side of the road, this small fair. It's not like a big, huge, expensive festival. Pulls up, got there early, got a good location, and walked away with $10,000 in 10 hours. I thought, man, that's good money. I mean, that in some cases takes a couple of months for people to make, or more. So my hat's off to him. And many other people are doing fairs and festivals and going where their passion is. Hanging out with people or talking to people and mingling with and socializing with people that have like interests. You don't have to pretend to like something, you know, if it's not really your passion. Being nice and social, it's a nice thing. It's a very kind and generous thing, but you know, for us to live from our heart and our soul and live life on life's term and our terms, when we connect and go where we really want to go and do what we really want to do in life and enjoy life fully, not sometime. I mean, every part of the day, we know we have challenges. Business, life, family, I mean, those are givens. But we don't have to get really bent out of shape. I mean, I think a lot of people know. It comes to us, we deal with it, we take care of business. But there are some that really grab on to every small thing and make a mountain out of a small issue. And that's not what I call living. And you can free yourself from that. And that comes from not living from your heart, not living from your passion or your soul and what really brings out the best in you. So I'll be talking more about this subject in a little different light and from a little different location, putting a course together that speaks about the management of the emotions and the mind so that you can truly live a free life. And I hope you are, but if you're not, I have tools. Go to www.peterstonelive.com or www.peterstone.com to check out some of our beautiful jewelry. And if you love the ocean just like I do, then you want to check out www.divesilver.com, where all of the nautical sea life jewelry is. At Peterstone, we have a lot of metaphysical, esoteric, cultural jewelry, Viking jewelry, Celtic jewelry. Peterstone may have the largest collection of Celtic jewelry in the world, but I stopped counting a long time ago. But I keep creating because the knot work is, it means all life is intertwined, that we're all connected and we can all help each other and we all need each other to a degree to keep the vibe in life up and on a positive note. And if it isn't on a positive note, don't let anybody pull it down on you. I'm going to go for a ride, and I just thought I'd share the moment because it is so amazing. I shut off that little rumble in the background, and you can really get a feel for the moment. All right, Katie. Well, it was good. If you can create it in your mind, you will start to see it in your life. Absolutely. I love that because you make it real by doing it in what you see is real. What you dream can be real. We make our life. It's not this person or that person or those people or this person that cause things in our life. It's everything is us. As much as people would like to put the blame or the weight on someone else, it's not the way it really is. It's us. We have to be responsible for ourselves. He's taking a nice drive out here in the evening with his lovely wife, just chilling after a day someplace. Great. I'm glad you enjoy it, Rick. That's part of the reason I do it, because there's a lot of people that were here and have not been here for a while, or when they came, they didn't stay long enough. But there's no place. I feel sometimes like a salmon, right? I swam back upstream the channel to Manchester Harbor and kind of planted myself there. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Welcome to Manchester by the Sea, Singing Beach. The water's warm. Not only is it warm, it's calm. I'm not even sure what time it is, but it doesn't matter. Sure. You can tag Peter Barba. I told Peter Barber's up in Canada. Up in Canada, and when they were off heading to the Azores, to Europe in 2015 June. I caught them right about out there, maybe 12 miles offshore, and delivered a dozen donuts that I was going to give to them at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the dock when they left. But it was so crowded, and I didn't think it would be received as well. So I took my little jet ski out there exactly on a day like today. And I have a beautiful picture posted in my Facebook page of my Facebook is Fast Ocean Delivery. It's a hobby on the side. Today I just delivered my daughter's bathing suit to her. She was out on a friend's boat in her cut-up jeans. She says, "Dad, I'm sweating. I need to go swimming. Can you bring me my bathing suit?" And I'm like, of course I can. I just had to finish up a little project I was working on, and I had an energy drink to get on this thing, so I got some long strength, some longevity in my energy. So hopped on the jet ski, went out the harbor, and I saw her and all her friends and gave them a ride, and they were like having a blast because a lot of them never rode on a jet ski. They're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Some graduated and some not, out of high school, in college. So what a fun way to spend the afternoon, just hopping out. Over there is Baker's Island. I don't think you can really see it very well, but I just did a ride out around there. I'll probably post a video. I was just maybe 30 feet from the rocks, 50 feet from the rocks, going in and out with the waves. I mean, it was really a nice feel. It looks calm, but there's a swell on. And the swell makes, on a calm day, big crashes of the waves. This rock right in front of me has some occasional 20-foot splashes of a wave. Yeah, please tag Peter Barba. I'd really like to do that. So anyway, I delivered those donuts, and they didn't know where I came from. There was only 3 sailboats out there, and I kind of worked on the timing, and I was coming out of Manchester at the time, but I was still living in the Hunt. And I said, well, let me go out and look on the horizon, see where they are. They shouldn't be too far. It wasn't too windy, and there they were. And I zoomed in from nowhere, and they just like, what is this coming at them? And they couldn't figure it out, but I got close enough, and they realized it was a jet ski, but they didn't know it was me. And they didn't know I had a dozen donuts for their next morning when they woke up off of Cape Cod heading across the Atlantic. And they were, well, we all joke about it and have a good time. So I would like to catch Peter Barba and the crew of the Tioga and the captain coming back from Canada. So I hop on their tracking website and see where they are. They look like they're still up in Canada near Shelbourne, having a great time. I don't blame them. That's a beautiful place, and it's one of my favorite places this time of year. Canada, Halifax, and Yarmouth. Beautiful, beautiful coastline. So I'm gonna fall asleep here. I've actually laid out 15, 18 miles out in the middle of the ocean and done some meditation after riding this thing really hard. It's like such a contrast. And when you have that kind of contrast in life, then it really brings you present into the moment. Like you're doing from one thing and you just kind of hit the switch. I make a piece of jewelry called Break, Breathe, Bond. So that's kind of like if you're working all day and then you drive home and you hop in the house and you still got all that stuff on your mind and you see your family and you don't really see them and you just go in, you sit down and you don't have any connection. So I naturally have, for years, When I got home, I'll turn off my car. I sit in my car. I didn't have the jewelry. I was inspired uh, with some of the word jewelry. I've been doing word jewelry for decades. Uh, but words that matter. I got a little kick and inspiration from Brendan Bouchard, and I made him some jewelry. Uh, and what I thought is, you get home, you sit in the car or whatever it is that you arrive home in, could be the bicycle. But if it's a car, the engine shuts off and the silence, like the silence here, takes over. If you let it, if you stop, if you brake, and then do a little breathing. And when I was in Nahan, it was very quiet. And it's quiet in Manchester. So when I open the door, maybe I hear a foghorn, or it's a cool night and you just feel the air on your face, and you just take a deep breath and you breathe. And sometimes I've just taken a walk down to the harbor. It was less than a minute from my front door, and just connect, bond with the good energy, the energy of life, and get centered. And then I would come into my house. It might be 20 minutes. It might be 10. It might be 40. But then I would go into my home, and it's a whole nother thing. Then I would bond with my wife, bond with my family, bond with now I'm at home. I'm no longer doing what I was doing in the traffic. I mean, the traffic outside of the haunt is, you don't want to cross that. Don't want to cross that bridge, really. You get into Lynn and Swampscott and Revere. It's not for me. I love the island, and I used to take this jet ski over there to Gloucester, Mass. I put an office with a pier on it so I could be there from my front door in the hut to my front door in Gloucester in about 40 minutes. No traffic. That's going slow through the harbor. And I mean, the great thing about it was I could leave thinking, well, I probably should be responsible, drive the car and listen to a tape or something on the way, but that's not living life. I didn't want to be in the traffic, so I just hopped on the jet ski, got charged with fresh ocean air and ions. That I think what gives me a lot of my energy, endless energy, is the ions from the sea, the salt air. My sister worked in Michigan, and she said, it's just like the ocean, Peter. She said she would go there for a week up in the northern part of Lake Michigan, and really beautiful, she said. She said, but it wasn't the same. I couldn't put my hand on it. I couldn't put what it ended up being. She put her nose on it, and she didn't realize it. What was missing was the smell of the salt air. And the salt air is charged with ions, and it's constantly smashing the rocks, getting oxygenated and breaking moisture into the air, and we breathe at this low level. I mean, I'm not up high. I mean, I'm in the water. I'm in the water here, not up high. So I'm enjoying it. I just want to share that with you, and I hope you are to take a break, breathe, bond, enjoy your day. Maybe someone will enjoy a replay here. It's dinner time for some people. So I'll let you take 5 or 10. Well, that's more like 35 seconds. So I will be on my way because I'm getting blown past the swim zone and I'm not supposed to be inside there. So talk to you again probably Friday morning from the whales. I wish you all a wonderful day.